There are plenty of ways you can CC aka crowd control the enemies, whether it's from a set or a weapon, and you know which weapon I'm actually talking about, right? However, when it comes to truly controlling the crowd, where you are pretty much carrying the whole team of 4, if you're playing, let's say, a legendary mission, or a team of 8 in case of, let's say, countdown, there's only one set that comes in mind, and yes, you guessed it right, it is Eclipse Protocol. Now, Eclipse Protocol can be used in many ways, but in this video, we're going to be talking about its CC role. Also, this season, it's even better than good because of the modifiers and stuff. You can also ask me this question that where should I use this build? Is it going to be a legendary mission, something like a district in an arena? Yes, but also you can play in other missions. Like I played in Tidal Basin, which is more like an open kind of area. District in an arena is more like in a one room, like a compact zone where you can easily crowd control the enemies. But something like Tidal Basin, it's pretty much in an open area, and it performed really, really well here. Now, I also wanted to play Manning National Zoo, but unfortunately, I couldn't get any match over there after matchmaking for a while because I'm guessing nobody likes to play that mission anymore because it's so stupidly long. However, it doesn't matter. The build itself works really well, whether you're playing Countdown or Legendary Mission like I mentioned already. Now, if you want to build it the way I have it, kind of play that leadership role for your group, pretty much just controlling all the crowd of enemies and let your DPS players absolutely shred them, because most of the time you will have DPS players in your team, so they will absolutely love it when the enemies are not moving and pretty much burning or, blind or something. They're going to love that, and also the extra damage you're giving them at the same time, that's even better. So yeah, if you want to make it like that, you might want to watch the video. But first, there's 2 important things I need to show you. One is the specialization, the other one is also the modifiers, because I feel like these 2 things are making this build even better than good. Like, you need to see that to believe it. So let me show you. Now, as for the specialization, I actually chose 2 specialization for this build. One is the survivalist specialization, which pretty much we run it all the time with Eclipse Protocol. However, technician specialization is also a great choice here. Now, you can use something like firewall specialization as well, but I wouldn't recommend it on this type of setup here because we're not dealing any damage. We are controlling the crowds, right? We're a support here, basically. Now, for the survivalist specialization, it gives you incendiary grenade, which is another source of like a status effect that you can apply on the target so you can burn them easily, and then your gear set will proc that and spread it even further. So that's a nice option there. Plus, you also do get the ability to boost your team members' damage by 10% towards the status affected target, which pretty much happening all the time because everybody has status effect applied on them pretty much at all times. So this is the main reason why that specialization is good. Plus, also you get the specialization weapon itself, which is a crossbow that can one-shot the Chunga's armor, so that's also kind of handy there at the same time. As for technician specialization, you get extra skill tier, so that's good. So you can use, let's say, an armor core or something to get more armor to your build, but also you get the linked laser pointer, which you can put it on your weapon that can use the linked laser pointer, and you can just point and pulse the target, and that is really good for this season modifier as well, because you can just pulse the target and burn them at the same time because of our this season's modifier there. So this is the specializations I recommend. Now, speaking of modifiers, let's go check out which modifiers we're actually using here. Now, for the active modifiers, I am using Overdrive here because this is more like an easy choice to use, especially for people who has not progressed further in the journey yet. I mean, still, even its quarter time has passed, but yeah, you can easily get the Overdrive here, fairly easy to unlock. This is probably the first one you unlock. You can also use something like Tactical Supremacy here, but yeah, Overdrive, just set and forget pretty much. You activate it, hit that max momentum. That's pretty good there. As for the passive modifiers, I actually chose a Reaper scan because I am pulsing the targets, and so that allows me to get more blacklisted enemies, which is nice. So I have that, and also good for our group members too, because if they kill blacklisted enemies, they'll gain more crit chance from the modifiers, basically. Now, also I'm using Momentum Surge here. I'm not really getting any skill kill, but if it happens, then yeah, sure, I can gain momentum. But yeah, it's not really that much important. It's more like a flex spot here. However, microwave coils is absolutely important here because we are pulsing the targets and we are burning them, which is really nice. Like, we're burning them pretty much all the time, whether we are using just a normal pulse, like a scanner pulse, or we are using the laser pointer from our weapons to pulse the target. So that's my modifiers here. Now, as for the weapons, I actually chose the Everlasting Gaze. You may not have it if you're a new player. I am keeping this build new player friendly, so I'm going to give you an alternative, which probably going to be a high-end weapon with the exact same talent of Everlasting Gaze. If you have it, that's great though, because it does, give you that perfect perpetuation talent, which is like headshot grants you 75% of status effect damage and duration. We only care about the duration, not really care about the damage here, again, because it's not a damage build. But yeah, that is a nice amount of duration there. So if you just land one headshot, you will gain more duration for your status effect, which is pretty good. Now, you also can hold the link laser pointer on this weapon, so that's also a plus point here. So if you're using the technician specialization, you can easily point and pulse your target, which also initiate the burn from our passive modifiers. So that's the reason why I'm choosing this weapon, but you can use any other high-end weapon that can use, of course, the link laser pointer if you're using the specialization, the technician, and you can just change the talent to something like perpetuation. It should do the job. As for the secondary weapon, I do have Scorpio. Now, I do forget to use this most of the time. When I'm playing Countdown, I do use this sometime, but yeah, usually I forget this most of the time to use it because I guess maybe because it's nerfed, and that's probably the reason why I just don't like using it or just forget about using it, something like that. But it's still a good weapon. It does apply that shock and stuff, so that's kind of nice as well. It is a good weapon to control the crowds at the same time. However, you can also use something like the Sweet Dreams shotgun, which you can just use to one-tap purple enemies, something like a healer or medic or something that is annoying you. You can just easily go and one-tap them, like foam them or blind them or something, and then just go and one-shot them so they don't heal everybody in the legendary mission or something. So yeah, that. Or you can use any other weapon of your choice. It's totally fine. Just make sure you have a high-end weapon that can use the perpetuation talent or something like that. So yeah, that's all the weapons there. Now, as for the build, you can see that I'm using 4 pieces of Eclipse Protocol and of course 2 pieces of high end. I'm not using any exotic because I want to keep this build kind of like new player friendly. So it is very easy for you to make this build. It is actually, you can make all of this 6 pieces that I'm using right now very easily. You can just build it because Eclipse Protocol is a skill kind of build. So it always comes with a skill tier as a core attribute. Whenever you farm it, you're going to get it with this. And then you can change the attribute to status effect. And then have like a skill haste mod, and that's it. That's all you need for a piece of Eclipse Protocol like that. Now, if you're a new player, you don't know what Eclipse Protocol does. Let me tell you what it does. Well, 2 piece gives you 15% of status effects, which is nice. You have 3 piece that gives you skill haste 15% and 30% of hazard protection, and also 4 piece where all the magic happens. Basically, your status effect now spread on kill. All enemies within 10 meters are going to just get affected by that status effect, and also get a 50% of duration. Refresh the duration of it, so which is kind of nice as well. Now, basically what it means is whichever enemy that has a status effect on them, whether it's bleed, burn, shock, whatever kind of status effect they have on them, if they go down, they'll spread that status effect towards all the enemies that are within that 10-meter radius, and all of those enemies will have that status effect. Now, you don't have to get the kill. You can get the kill, of course, and spread the status effect. But if your group members get the kills, they'll still spread the status effect. That's why this gear set is so good, because it doesn't count your kill, but your group members' kills too at the same time. So if an enemy that has like multiple status effect, it can also spread that, and everybody will have the status effect applied on them, which is kind of fun. So pretty much all the time, enemies are burning or bleeding or shock or whatever, like whatever status effect you applied, everybody is going to have that, and that's the fun part of Eclipse Protocol. So that's basically what it does. Now for my all 4 pieces of Eclipse Protocol, as you can see, I have skill tier and status effect tier as my attribute. On my holster, I have skill tier, status effect tier. For the gloves, again, skill tier, status effect. And for the knee pads, again, skill tier and status effect. Now, why status effect and not skill damage? Is because status effect will increase the duration of the status effect that you have applied on the enemies, whether it's burn, bleed, shock, or the right form thing. So yeah, all of that will have more duration. So that's why we choose the status effect over skill damage. Now, as for the high-end pieces, I chose 2 pieces of Wyvern wear here because I already have these sets with all these stats, so I didn't want to farm a new one because you can actually get 2% more status effect than what I have, which in this case I have 18% of status effect. You can actually get 20%. If you use one piece of like a golden gear, because that gives you status effect, and one piece of another high-end set, I actually forgot the name of it right now, but that also gives you 10% of status effect. So in total, you'll get 20%. But I feel like this is doing a better job because I already have a good piece of Wyvern Wear, 2 of them, which is, and also get that skill damage at the same time. And 18% status effect, not bad. It's just 2% less, and I don't think that's a big of a deal here. So I have skill tier, status effect, skill haste, and skill haste mod. And the talent I have on the chest piece is called Trauma. Now, you can use any other talent that will help your team members damage, something like Overwatch, for example. You can stay in cover and then improve the damage of your team members, you know. Yeah, you could do that. But I do like the Trauma a lot. It's kind of fun. I know there's a huge cooldown of 30 seconds, but it's kind of fun to play, especially when I start the combat. What I do is I just shoot a headshot, and that blinds the target. And that blind will actually going to spread immediately without even proccing Eclipse Protocol. And that's thanks to my backpack talent. The backpack is again my second piece of Wyvern Wear. I have skill haste, status effect, and skill haste mod, and obviously skill tier there. And the talent I have is Creeping Death. Creeping Death also, when you apply like status effect, it spreads the status effect within 8-meter radius. It has a 15-second cooldown. It does basically what Eclipse Protocol does. However, it doesn't require any kill. You just need to apply the status effect, and this will spread the status effect within 8-meter radius and has a 15-second cooldown. That's basically what it does. So it is really good when I'm starting the combat. So I can just apply that blind, and this thing spreads. Everybody's blind. Easy for my group members to take him down. And then when they take one of them down, it spreads the blind even further, or reapply the blind to the targets again because of Eclipse Protocol. So it creates a nice kind of a chain reaction there. And then you can apply other status effect at the same time, like Riot Foam, you know, shock, or burn from your pulse, so yeah, those will get spreaded too from your Eclipse Protocol. And when the cooldown is done, it'll reapply whatever status effect they can find. It'll do that. So it's a very fun kind of a combo of a talent. So I do prefer Trauma on the chest and Creeping Death on the backpack pretty much all the time. So like I said, fairly easy to make this build. It's not that hard for new players to make this build. You can easily farm Wyvern Wear as well. It always drops a skill tier. So all you need is just a status effect attribute, and then you can change the talent to whatever you want. So yeah, that's pretty simple. You can ignore the skill haste there. Just put the skill haste mod. That should be fine. Later on, you can farm a perfect one. Or maybe you even use a Vile Mask as well. Yeah, you could do that too. And if you use Vile Mask, I will highly recommend Eclipse Protocol Backpack. But that is going to increase your damage. But in this build, we are not really dealing damage, so it's not that ideal. And that's also one of the reasons why I did not choose the Backpack of Eclipse Protocol. But Backpack of Eclipse Protocol is really good for the damage. Now, as for my skills, I'm always going to be using the Riot Foam here. I'm never going to change the Riot Foam. It's always going to be there, especially when I activate the momentum, like the active modifier. I'm going to get max momentum. That will give me, overcharge. So that's also kind of nice. So pretty much, the skills get overcharged means it's insane. We all know that. Now, as for the secondary skill, I'm actually using a Jammer Pulse here because I was using Tidal Basin. I was using this Jammer Pulse in Tidal Basin a lot because there's too many Warhounds in there and like drones and stuff. And yeah, there's a lot of those things out there which needed the jamming, basically. So that's why I was using it. You can use a decoy, you can use a shock trap, or you can use a sticky bomb, EMP sticky bomb, fire sticky bomb. You can use that too. You can use a hive. You can use the firefly to blind them as well, like a blinder firefly. You can use that. There's multiple options there. The second skill is basically it depends on the content. Whatever content you're playing, it depends on that. In my case, I was using the Jammer Pulse because I needed that. But yeah, you can use any other skills. Depends, like I said, depends on the content that you're playing. Change that skill accordingly. But always keep the Riot Foam because it always just freezes the enemies in one place and very easy to take them down like that. You can also burn them while pulsing them at the same time. So yeah, and also blind them at the same time. So you could do that too. It's a very fun build. You can try it out yourself to understand how strong it is. Give it a go. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. And yeah, that's pretty much it for the video. Leave a like, subscribe if you want, and I will see you guys in the next one. Till then, peace.